Well, greetings, everyone. My name is Paul Schomburg. I live in Gaithersburg, Maryland. After spending 4 years on active duty in the U.S. Navy, I met my wife, Janet, when I was going to business school in Michigan. My wife and I moved to Maryland in 1994 with our then 2- and 4-year-old daughters. But probably the scariest time of my professional career was going through the turbulent economic times of the 1990s. I had joined Panasonic's office automation group 6 years earlier, when our largest selling products were then electric typewriters, fax machines, and dot matrix printers. By the mid-1990s, these were being rapidly replaced, and when my business unit was downsized, I took a lateral move to a government affairs role in Washington, D.C. When we moved to Maryland in 1994, I was struggling trying to make sense of my new work, marriage, family, and life. Nothing I was doing seemed to be working well, and I had 2 young daughters who were asking me a lot of questions I didn't know how to answer. You see, I had grown up in a Christian home, but I had drifted away from a superficial religious understanding, and it was really living for my own career success. My trust in my own abilities were being tested by work, life, and marriage relationships, and my parental responsibilities. God was starting to get my attention. Around that time, someone introduced me to the leader of the Christian Businessmen's Connection in Washington, D.C. When he invited me to come hear the Commandant of the Marine Corps speak at a CBMC outreach meeting, I was intrigued. In his talk, General Krulak said he had had a very successful career, but still felt that his life was missing something until he found a relationship with Jesus Christ. This got me to thinking, if the top-ranking officer in the U.S. Marine Corps says he needs Jesus, who am I to say that I don't? I began attending the CBMC team meetings downtown, and some of the guys there helped me to try to put the pieces together in this new life I was beginning to experience. I had a lot of questions about the Bible, how the death of someone 2,000 years ago could really be helpful to me today. I needed a guide who would allow me to ask these questions I was afraid to raise in a church environment. As my understanding grew of who Jesus really is and what he did to set me free from my own selfish desires, I surrendered my life to him and asked him that he would lead me and guide me. And I found that he is faithful to his promise to never leave or forsake those who trust in him. My story really exemplifies the missional focus of CBMC. First, CBMC presents the gospel message to business and professional men in the workplace. We do this by praying for men by name and inviting our friends to come hear a speaker on topics related to success and life priorities. CBMC men then follow up individually to address questions and offer opportunities to learn more about biblical truth. Having a guide who accepts and supports you through this process is a critical step towards becoming a mature believer. 2 Timothy 2:2 commands that what you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust this to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. Life-on-life relationships are a vital part of this process of spiritual multiplication. Second, CBMC provides leadership training and helps men to integrate their entire life under the teachings of Jesus Christ. We call this being a marketplace ambassador, one who is sent to be an example and a guide to others in following Jesus. CBMC helps men to submit their lives to Christ as Savior and Lord so they can impact their organization and the people who work there for his kingdom. Today's workplace is just as turbulent as the early 1990s, and CBMC helps men move from pursuing selfish ambition for their own sakes to following Christ in the company of others. Wherever God has placed us, we have a sphere of influence that the Lord wants each of us to reach with the good news of his sacrificial love. I believe that CBMC's tools and proven methodology can equip any follower of Jesus who desires to make an impact for God in the workplace and to become an effective marketplace ambassador. So please connect with me by visiting the CBMC Maryland website at md.cbmc.com. Thanks.